Well, cool, man. I appreciate you hanging out. I know it's probably getting late over there, huh?
9 o'clock.
Okay. Where you at exactly?
Goshen, Indiana.
Oh, right on. Okay.
Think Notre Dame.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. It's always interesting to me hearing how different auto shops function in different parts of the country because it's kind of all the same but different. Average like our hourly labor rates, and I mean I'm in, right. So, but it's not as much as like the housing is differently, right? Like you look at the cost of housing or the cost of living, it's like our labor rate doesn't reflect that much differently across the country. Yeah, we're maybe $20 or $30 more on average, but the average house is a couple $100,000 more, you know? So it's like we got a lot of catching up to do.
I actually looked at comparables in your city, and for what you guys are getting for $800,000, I can buy for $250,000.
Right.
And 4 years ago, that same house was $100,000 here. So it's nuts.
Yeah. So it's doubled for you, but it's still not.
Yeah, we're still a third of what you are.
Right. And then for your income, what's like your average repair order? What do you?
Right now, we are just strictly American and Asian, no European, nothing like that. Our average repair order has been right at $500, $550.
Okay.
So it's not bad.
Right. So I mean, on the grand scheme of things, it's I mean, they said the ratio between what you can get paid to live where you're at versus, out in California is like, it's just, there's such a huge divide, It's like, yeah, you're making a couple $100 less per average repair order, but the cost of housing is a couple 100,000 less. So it's amazing. Like,
yeah,
I love it here, but it's definitely hard to look at the numbers and realize like, oh man, it is expensive. And then trying to hire technicians and then pay them enough so they can actually live here too. It's a challenge.
One thing I thought was kind of weird. I got some friends in LA, and when I went out and visited, because I did the drive or management success back in the day, so I had some friends out there. So I was checking out auto shops and what everybody paid, and their $600,000 house. I'm like, dude, I just paid $80,000 for the same thing, but the guys out there aren't making any more money than we are,
right?
And he said the way they do the loans out there, they make it to where his house payment was, mine was like $900, his was only like $1,100. I don't get that, but
yeah, the interest,
it was weird. Definitely,
it's interesting. Well, starting off, we'll do the introduction. I'm pretty bad at that, so let's start by giving yourself an introduction.
My name is Jeremy Hossler. Been an auto tech since, we'll say, the mid '90s. Been working on cars since the early '90s. I've owned 2 shops, built them up, sold them both. Right now I'm shop foreman over at another shop here in town. And like most people, I got frustrated a couple times and took some time off from the auto biz for a while. But it's just a passion. You just can't get away from it. I just love it too much.
Yeah, it keeps pulling you back in. Well, let's get into that. How did the starting go? Where did you kind of get started with in kind of the industry?
My first official job, I actually was in 1994 at not a little tire store. It's a big tire store around here. But I started busting tires, just a monkey making $4.35 an hour, and tried to work my way up, did tires for 2 years, tried to get in the service department. Back then it was hard.
Was that what you always kind of wanted to get to, was up into the service department?
Yeah, that's been my dream to work on cars. I'm what you call a car guy. I live, breathe, eat cars. I have like 13 of them. Half of them are junk, but I just love cars.
Yeah, I was going to say they don't all run, right?
No.
Right now. I think we're all there,
if I had time and money, I could make some really nice stuff, but
right.
2 things are kind of hard to come across.
Yeah, that's true. So that was kind of like your goal, was to get in and get into the service department.
Oh yeah, in my mind, I thought I was pretty decent. I mean, I've been changing engines since I was 13. I did swaps every weekend. That's all I did. And then I remember the boss in the service department one day. I'm like, hey, I want to go back there. He's like, hey, do some brakes. Show me you can do them. I'm like, oh, heck yeah. I had an 83 Firebird with a 406 down in it. So I pull it in and, I throw some brake pads on there and I'm done in like 15 minutes. He comes over, he looks at it, he says, I'll never hire you.
Wow.
Like, what? Look how fast I did it. He's like, no, we don't do fast. So it took me almost a year to convince him to put me on the lube rack and then go back and slowly do a couple little things. And then I went from there to Northwestern University in Lima, Ohio, did the automotive training, the business training, and all that. And then when I went back, he gave me a shot on the alignment rack. So I had 2 alignment racks and, just an alignment flunky. Couldn't change no parts, just alignments. But the guy was OCD so bad, like everything had to be exactly perfect. But it ended up being the best thing for me because every alignment had to be dead on.
I feel like I feel like a lot of people getting in the industry, whether you're young or middle age or old, get in the industry, and that pushes a lot of people away. Yeah, having someone stand over them and say, "Hey, that can't leave like that. That can't be like that." What? I can't just do whatever I want,
It's in the green.
And so, I think that's like a good. I mean, yeah, I think it sets the good standard of like where to start from, but it also is like crucial in like how to stay in the industry because you're gonna get beat. You're gonna get beat up a lot, right? Like you're gonna get stuff that's not right. You're gonna have misdiagnosis, and it's like when you have a starting point like that where someone's constantly, I don't know what the word for it is, micromanaging. I don't know call it micromanaging, but just showing you the right way, saying, hey, that's not right, do it again. And I think a lot of people are just like, I don't want to deal with this. This is too hard, Yeah, and if you can get through that, you're going to be in it for the rest of your life, Yeah,
it was hard because I had 2 racks, but he wouldn't let me go. He like, you're going to master this and then you're going to move up. Then you're going to master that. Then you're going to move up. So I would pull it in, check it out. Oh, these tie rods need something else. When the other guys come down, bust the parts on, I'd align it. Back then, like the record was $3,000 a month. Like that's all the alignment rack made. It was almost a loser.
Wow.
So I was making $7 an hour and he's like, if you want to raise to $9, like you gotta really up it.
Right.
So I busted my butt. I was doing 13, 15 alignments a day, and this is $39.95 alignment specials. So it got to where I was doing $11,000 in alignments. It's like I made $9 an hour. Like yay! And then he let me from there. It was like, all right, now you're going to learn how to do a brake job. Now you're going to learn how to use a torch. Like he taught me all the basics. He was I thought he was kind of a prick, but in the end, like it took me about a year to realize it, but he's probably one of the best teachers I ever had.
Yeah.
So
it sounds like it.
Probably the best thing. Now the guys I have now, like they don't like it because I'm so anal about alignments. Like, no, green isn't green. It's gotta be right. We're gonna wear tires out and,
Yeah. Just because the spec is like 7 to 13 doesn't mean you send it at 13, right?
Yeah, what? 1.3 negative. Like, no, you can. It's going to eat the tires are already worn off on the inside. Quit. So,
yeah.
We did that. I did that for a while. Slowly got moved up. They had some big management changes and some other things. And it was like, I couldn't take it no more. They come down pretty hard on the tech, so they had a bunch of guys leave. I actually left the industry for a little bit, went actually wiring houses for a short bit. So I still worked there in the tire department after my trailer factory job because I'd be off at 9:30, 10 o'clock. So I would get 40 hours part-time at the tire store. So I had 2 paychecks going. And when they changed all the management, I got right back in it, was there forever after that. It was quite a long time.
Yeah, I think there's a good correlation of techs that end up going into the construction industry because I think we're all kind of plastic in that way and pretty hands-on, especially electrical. I mean, if you can't wire a house, I don't know if you should be messing with, an electric car or nonetheless just anything 2010 or newer, right? Like you should have a pretty good concept of AC DC voltage, I mean, maybe not full on wire house, but you should be able to put an outlet in or a light switch, you should know what, positive and negative is, right? And that's pretty easy to correlate. But so from that tire shop, did you move into owning a shop, or you stuck it out as like kind of a manager role there?
Well, I stayed there, and then September 11th happened. And at that time, I was back in the service department. I went back full time. I was on track. I had a contract with them to make $52,000 a year, which was, the $100,000 number now. 52 grand in 2000, 2001. You made it. So I was only at like 29, 30,000 come that September. So the boss was looking at writing me a pretty good check at the end of the year if it didn't come up. And then when that happened, we were all I was actually writing service too on my own and for another guy in the shop. And when that happened, business just dropped. I mean, they hit the floor for us. We went from having a record month to 2 days later, we didn't work on a single car for almost 7 days.
Wow.
It was bad. So at that point, it got kind of rough, and another shop kind of headhunted me. So I went over there, did that for a while, and that's where I learned the finer side of the diag. So we had a Master Tech 5200 lab scope, and I learned ignition patterns and, the hard stuff. So it was full-time diag there. And then me and the boss had a falling out one day at lunch. I went to lunch. I'd already turned like 13 hours by lunch. I was killing it. But I left at lunch at 12:30, come back at 1:15, and, oh, man, you don't get out of that time. So we got in a little argument. I said, I'll do it myself. I'll start my own shop. So I walked out, and 3 weeks later, I bought another shop that had been in town forever that had closed down. He had retired. So I got it and started from the ground up. Empty building and an air compressor. So that was probably not the smartest thing to do, because I thought,
take some cojones,
man, I wrote service. I know all the numbers. I know how to run a business. This is easy.
Yeah. Well, so if you don't think of it like that, you probably would never have done it, right?
Yeah.
We all think it's easy. We all think it's easy. Otherwise, you don't even start it,
Yeah, that was a rough one. So I started out, and first I done run pretty much everything in 2 weeks out. Like all my friends, all my family, like I had done tapped everybody out. Didn't have advertising budget. The shop was not even on a main road. We're talking behind a couple stores off the main road. No advertising. Google couldn't find it. There wasn't really internet popular back then. So I started it, and then one of the guys that was the head diag tech where I was at, I convinced him, like, hey, let's be partners. Let's move in. You can be the diag tech. I'll run the office, bust out the hard stuff. And that's how it started. And within the first month, we almost went under. I mean, it was burnt through all the money I had saved up, because you think, I got money. This will last. And then you see shiny things like, oh, wow, look at that tool. Oh, we need this tool. We need that tool. Oh, we need stock. We need this. And I just spent my way to where I just didn't have anything. I was broke, and all the cars we pretty much burn up. But then I just started reading everything I could about advertising and marketing. And I was putting flyers on people's cars. I was handing out business cards. I was going door to door. And then I got the newspaper to do an article on us with the old owner as kind of a handing over the business, that kind of thing. And then we just
that's smart
from there.
Yeah.
It was instantly, we were busy. We were busy for 2 years.
So the owner before you, I guess he was well established in the community then?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
His family had been in this town doing something since the 40s. They'd always owned gas stations, service. They were
that was a pretty that's a pretty good pivot there. That's pretty smart. I don't think a lot of people think of something like that, but you're looking for like a billboard, right? Or like the banner on the back of a plane, right? Or like a big radio ad or a TV commercial. And it's amazing how something like that, just a newspaper article, right?
Yep.
With a little bit of community support. And it's like, that's all it took. And it's amazing how like the small things like that just make the biggest difference, especially with marketing. It's very interesting.
because I didn't know. I thought I knew, but I was completely wrong on marketing. I was so far out of
I think
range.
we're all wrong every month. Oh, that's
It's
not
tough,
working
man.
anymore. Yeah.
Oh, it's like, oh yeah, this is great. And then you do all these things, and then you get so busy that you just stop handing out flyers. You stop going door to door. You quit the BNI group. You quit the business development group. You stop all these things because I'm too busy for that. And then 3
Absolutely.
months later, you're going, oh crap, what do I do? Then you try to do it all over again. Oh, this doesn't work. That doesn't work. And then 3 months down the road, it finally catches back up.
Yep.
And it was hard lesson for me to learn to just, you get your foot in it, keep it down, pedal to the metal, keep the marketing going, because if not, you make your own highs and lows.
I think I
My
hear that.
lows were really
I hear
low.
that so much. Like people ask me, "Hey, what do you do for? Oh, how much do you spend?" And oh, I'm so busy. I don't need to do any of that. Like the slow time's coming. It's not a matter of
Yeah.
like if, but when, right? And it's like some of us hit it a little harder than others, but it's just amazing to me. Like exactly what you said is like, oh, I'm so busy. I don't need to do that anymore. It's like, oh, yeah, they said the chamber of commerce meetings, like we still go to them and we see other shops in the area. It's like, we never see you guys at the commerce. They give out free beer and food, for one. For one, that's a
Oh,
positive.
yeah,
Like I
they
don't
don't
need a
do
market. I'm
nothing
so
either.
busy. I know everybody is like, well, you're either not charging enough or
Yeah,
you're on a house of cards. It's like because it's just a matter of time. And it's
yeah.
funny you brought that up. Yeah.
Yeah, one of my biggest mistakes was the phone book. Guy come in, did the whole spiel with the phone book, and it's like, you know what? The newspaper article worked good. The phone book is what everybody's using. So I had spent $100,000, signed this big contract with them, full page. We got one phone call. One. That was it. Oh, that was a hard check to write every month for this thing where it's like one call. Yeah,
Wow.
that about broke us.
The phone
Again,
book. I forgot about that.
oh yeah, because that was a big thing. I mean, the internet wasn't really,
Right.
it just wasn't there yet. Different time, and I tried the phone book, and we did some radio ads, and we did some other things. And it's like it just wasn't quite there. And then
I'm
when we were struggling, it was back to the basics. I took a card and I hand out 2 cards to everybody. Like, boom, here, please give it to somebody that needs something.
yeah.
And slowly worked it back up, but it was rough.
Yeah,
Um,
like you look at any marketing books from like I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago and like step 1 phone book ad. That was marketing
yeah,
101. Get yourself in
name
the
your
phone book,
name your business AAA, something like that. Like
Right,
so.
right. So the old marketing tactics that don't work anymore. And it's like we started out with
No,
talking about marketing. It's like you do these things and then you stop. Then you go back to how you started, and it's like that don't work anymore. That was 4 years ago. You can't do that anymore. That doesn't work. You can't get out of the phone book. Don't waste your money. And
yeah.
it's like print advertising still it's coming back. It's big. It's not. It's so hard to say where to put your money when you're talking about marketing when you're first opening a shop. But obviously the best is the word of mouth, right? So I'm assuming you
Yep.
probably built up a pretty good clientele after that.
Yeah, it was a lot of word of mouth, flyers, handing stuff out. Now the management companies that we got with, the first one with Management Success. I don't know if you want me to say their names on the
Oh, I don't care.
pocket. Okay,
Yeah,
but
no,
we went
whatever.
with them.
Yeah, drop names because that's what helps people out. If they're starting
Yeah,
out or looking for somebody different or new. Yeah,
yeah, and went out there, did their training. Uh, Really, from that point on, we doubled. I mean, it was great. It was fantastic. But it just come a time where after so long, it's almost like we outgrew them and we knew everything they knew. So, and then, us being still younger, oh yeah, we know it all. We can do this all ourselves. And then took the foot off the pedal, let it ride for a while, and then dropped them, did okay for a while. And then '08 hit and just destroyed everything in our business again. Our town had a 24% unemployment rate. Everything went down. And first thing we do is pull back advertising, pull back marketing, pull back all that stuff, trying to save money. And that was pretty dumb thinking about it now. But back then, like, it was rough. I got to working third shift for another friend, plus doing the shop so I wouldn't have to take a paycheck, so I wouldn't have to lay anybody off. It got a little scary there.
So
For a while.
at this time you had some technicians and some staff.
Yep, it was. There was three of us two of us in the front, three technicians. Bays were full, but we had guys that were driving quite a distance, so the gas went up. It just wasn't worth it. So we ended up losing our main. I call him the main old guy. The guy that could fix anything. Not the fastest, but there was no comebacks. He was great. We ended up losing him, but luckily, I'm a big efficiency guy, so the shop was running 125% efficient when we had the work. So luckily, our B Tech could just crank out 60 hours, 70 hours a week, no problem. And then I could always turn a bunch of hours. So it kind of helped. I mean, there was a lot of times I was working till 2, 3, 4 in the morning, taking a nap in a car, getting up, doing it again just so we didn't lose it. I mean,
Wow.
It was a struggle.
Yeah,
I mean, really rough.
I feel like that probably hits home for a lot of people because they're probably in that situation right now, or you don't really go looking for help until you're really drowning, right? Like no one looks for help. No one advertises when you're busy, right? So no one looks for help when it seems like everything's going well, but it's very relatable, I think, to everybody in that kind of situation and in a sense, you're still just kind of digging yourself a hole, right? I mean, because you're not like the business isn't building, you're just sustaining, you're just surviving. It's a tough situation to be in, man.
Yeah, it was rough. And then went to another coaching company. It's like, man, I had already set once my shutdown date. Like once before it was like, dude, we're done. Like after this date, I'm closing down on the 16th. And it was like the 14th. Some of the things I had done just started working with the marketing, and then boom, we were back up. And I was down to that point again where, we're just got to close the doors. Here we got a business that's doing $700,000 with a 3-bay, and we're barely making it. So it was back to another coaching company, which they again doubled once more. Just sometimes having that coach or somebody to just give you that push to do that thing that you're uncomfortable with. Like, look, I know you're broke, but you need to do this advertising and you need to charge more. Because at the time, I was one of the highest shops in town, but it still wasn't quite enough. And that somebody to tell you, hey, I know you're the highest, you need to go up more. You need to start charging a little bit more, doing a little bit more for your customers. And it was the little things we were missing out on, like follow-up calls and scheduling out appointments for later down the road. It was amazing with just dumb little things you don't think of. Oh, that'll never work here. And yeah, it works. These coaches, they've seen hundreds or thousands of shops. They've been in every situation. They've seen this. Sometimes it was swallowing pride, quit being stupid and listen.
Yeah, lifting your head up a little bit, because I think when you're in that mode or in that survival phase, you just got your head down. And you're just grinding, and it's like until you look up, and they call it the 30,000 foot view, and you got to like step back and look back a little bit. And it's like you could almost coach yourself out of that situation if you could take a step back, but you can't. That's why it's like to have a coach step back and say, hey, look, dummy, it's right in front of your face. And you're like, oh, wow, it was that easy? Just like you said, it's like, it's just the little tweaks. It's like the little things. It's amazing that you said about being the highest priced, but you still need to charge more. Cause I think that's critical too. And I think the funny thing is as you start making less money and you start getting more and more to the point of like losing it, that's the time you start charging less and less. And it's so strange how your mind works that way, but it just happens. As soon as you get slow, as soon as the money stops rolling in, you start charging less. And it's like, and it's just like this perpetual cycle of going backwards. But I do it. I mean, I'm still guilty of it. We all do it, and it's just amazing you say that, because it's like, that is such a huge connection of like, yep. And then when you get busy, you're like, you start throwing these big numbers out because you're trying to scare the clients away. You're like, I don't want to do this job. So you throw this massive number on it. And then they're like, yeah, let's do it. And you're like, oh my God.
Oh,
It's
no,
just
20
amazing how
hours
it
on
works
this.
that way. Yeah, it's just amazing. It's
Yeah.
like you make less, so then you want to charge less, but you make more and you start charging more. It's like it's so the divide is it's amazing to me how that works out.
Yeah, it was kind of rough because one of the things we did there for a while was we did something called a guaranteed diagnosis. Labor rates in our area were like $70. We charged $180. Like you bring your car in, we guarantee that we will diagnose the problem, the runs rough, the check engine light, all that stuff. It's guaranteed. It's $180. We'll guarantee you that we will be 100% correct or you don't pay. And then
I like that.
it was a good idea, except for it brought in all the problem cars.
Yeah.
And within a short time, we had the dealerships bringing us cars going, hey, we can't figure this out. And, then you're 3, 4, 5 hours where before you're hour and a half in, you figured it out. And then you get some real butt kickers. And it was like, maybe we got to dial this back down and start going to like charging hour by the hour for what we do.
Oh yeah.
But guaranteed diagnosis was a pretty decent thing, but we didn't have CAN bus issues. You don't have GDI. You don't have so many different things that you do now. Like it would be hard to do, but if somebody's really good, I think you could do it. Like
I like how you provided the quality behind that service. I think the wording behind it, I'm not 100% behind, like the guaranteed anything, and the diagnostics I've never been a fan of. I'm all advanced assessments. Let's do an inspection. I'm not diagnosing it. We're just doing some tests and procedures to verify what's wrong, right? So, but backing what you're doing with that quality assurance is what I liked about that. Of like, hey, bring it in, and yeah, we're twice as much as anybody in the area, but we're going to provide you a service. We're not just going to, throw guesses and a parts cannon at it. So it's like, yeah. And that's another thing where it's like, if you just maybe throttled into that, yeah, for this vehicle, because it's coming from the dealership and you guys are supposed to be the experts here, it's going to be like $360. You know what I mean? And it's like, how many shops has it been to? Okay. So it's 180 for each other shop it's been like, so we're starting at like $500 for me to look at this thing. And it's like, you just got to step into that and just keep going forward. But it's always tough to say you're guaranteeing anybody anything, especially on a diagnostic. But
oh yeah,
I mean, it's a good pivot to try to like bring in that quality, because you don't want this. What's the other side of that equation? You get just the oil changes and the people that you do these inspections and they all the stuff that they need done and they don't want to do any of it. And it's like, no, I want the ones that are willing to spend some money to fix their car, right?
Yeah.
And of course, there's that problem too. But
back then, 2000s, there wasn't a whole lot of DVIs. I mean, ours wasn't digital, but everything was on paper. I had a sheet, everything checked out, and we did things that customers didn't see, like, hey, come on out, take a look. Things that we take for granted now, but back then, nobody was doing that. Nobody's doing, like every diag got a fuel pump waveform, it got a relative compression test, battery test, alternator test, like all these papers. We give them like a small booklet with their repair, like here's what you paid for. And it built a lot of trust and built a lot of long time, very reliable.
So on that, what's your thought process so I like that, like that's like jumping in the fuel pump waveform, right? You put a new fuel pump in, you spend the time to do the waveform, you print out, you hand it to them, they look at it, they're like, what are these squiggles? Why are you handing me this? Right? And so a lot of guys are like, why do you spend the time doing that? Just put the fuel pump in. It's got a warranty. If it fails, just have them come back in. And it's like, you're stamping it with your quality assurance. Like, look, we put a Delphi fuel pump in. This is the difference. And you can show them, the cheap eco, whatever fuel pump versus the Delphi. You're like, look at the waveform, see how much better that is. But I feel like a lot of clients, when they bring the vehicle in, they don't know. They're not technicians. So what's kind of your thought process behind that?
Back then, nobody was doing it. So I was trying to push technology and stuff like that. It was just, I could show them, here's the...
Did you get a lot of good positive results out of it? Like speaking to a client that way? They liked it, huh?
Oh, yeah, because, back then, every GM needed a fuel pump. I don't care if you drove it in, it probably needed a fuel pump anyways. Yeah. So it didn't matter what it came in for. We were doing a fuel pump wave pattern. Like, look, this thing's drawing freaking 30 amps. Your pump's gonna die. Like, it's on the way out. And even something as simple as a blower motor, when you show them, a waveform. Here's the commutator. Here's, you should have 8 humps. See that one that's like 40 miles higher than the other ones. It was just a good way to sell things, I thought.
Yeah.
Now I don't see as many fuel pumps, so doing a fuel pump waveform on stuff's kind of went by the wayside. And, a little different than what it used to be, but back then it was a good thing to get into.
Oh yeah, I can still see that being. I mean, rolling right into like EVs and hybrids now. You got electric motors. It's important to understand these waveforms for anybody that's not technically savvy when it comes to using a scope. But being able to relay that to the client and say, "Hey, look, I know you're going on a big trip. Your fuel pump's got maybe 6 months left, right? Or your blower motor or whatever." I mean, it's a smart way to market that quality assurance, and it's easy with a scope and an amp clamp.
Oh yeah, little jumper wire underneath the fuel pump fuse right there. Boom, put your amp clamp on there. 5 seconds. I mean, it's fast. Of course, they're a little bit easier to get to some things back then, but
we still see the cars from the 2000s. A lot of people and here in our town, maybe just California in general, especially I'm in a small rural town, so we got a pretty good community here, but everyone doesn't want to buy a new vehicle. They want to keep their old ones. A lot of ranchers around here, a lot of cattle, old trucks, and so buying a new vehicle, buying a new truck is like not an option. So they're dumping $10,000-$15,000 into these older vehicles, 2000, 2005 vehicles that are 10, 15, 20 years old, because they don't want to buy a new one and they don't want all that fancy new stuff. Like, I don't want $10,000 of other stuff to break on the vehicle besides the engine and transmission, So it's like they don't want it. Like I'd rather just invest my money and keep this old one on the road. So, but it just lends back to the fact of like, as these vehicles get older and get more miles on them, starting to see problems that we've never seen before. It's like, this vehicle's just now turning 30 years. There hasn't been this vehicle on the road in 30 years because now it is 30 years old. So we're going to see problems that we've never seen before. So, I mean, that's a good way of marketing too. Like that's just a good way of promoting that extra bit of inspection process too. Like I like that a lot. That's pretty clever to go through and show them that. I just was curious if clients picked up on it or if they're like, what is this? What is this voodoo stuff? Like what are you showing me the squigglies for? I mean, did you got good feedback from the clients too on it? Huh? They understood it.
Yeah. Cause I always did the original. And then after we would replace it, you'd do another one. So you'd have 2 and you compare them and like, hey, here's this one. This one's running at 18 amps. This one's at 6, you can see the really bad spot on the fuel pump. That's why it quit running and we had to smack the gas tank to get it to go. So it actually worked out really good. I love that. I love a DVI. That is probably my favorite thing on the planet because I write out books. I write out stories to customers and they can read it and they make it to where they can understand it. And I get good pictures, videos. Like my DVIs will have 15, 20 pictures, 4 or 5 videos, and they can't dispute, hey, yeah, you're right. That rim is bent. That tie rod is loose. And just makes them feel a little bit better. Like, hey, I've never seen that before.
Right.
So
yeah, no one's done that before.
Somebody's not doing a DVI, they are missing out on the greatest thing, since an oscilloscope.
Oh, yeah. That's the easiest way of building trust and that's what it is transparency. You don't get more transparent than, hey, your tire rod's bad. Why do you say that? Look at this video. Clunk, clunk, clunk.
Yeah, see it? I took it to this shop and they said it was tight. No, show them the video and see if you've seen that.
I'm not saying anybody's lying, but here's the video. You can make it for yourself. Come up to your own conclusion when it comes to that.
See the brake gauge? It says 2 millimeters. It's in the red.
It's not good.
Yeah.
So with the shop after that, I mean, how did the rest of that go after 2008? Were you able to climb back out of that, or how did that end up panning
out of it? But the stress, everything else. Father-in-law ended up with cancer. I was starting to have to be gone from the shop. I mean, we climbed back out. It was a little rough, but I was just burnt out. I almost died. Bleeding ulcer in my stomach from the stress, and I was like, I just got to quit. I got to get out and do something else for a while. So I lasted a little while. After that, I ended up selling out to my partners, helped another friend at his shop, did that for a while, but no stress. I didn't know nothing. I just came in, I fixed cars, I talked to customers, I sold jobs, I went home. It was great. Then the wonderful IRS bill came for settling out and all that other stuff because I didn't know when you sell a shop, you got to pay taxes on all that money. So I ended up trying to start another shop. Stupid mistake. My heart wasn't in it. And if you're trying to start a shop, you have to want to do it. You have to love to do it. You can't just do it just because, yep, I'm going to start a shop. I want to make a bunch of money. And my heart wasn't in it. I just gave up before I really started. I ran it for a while. Somebody came in, maybe another offer. I was out again. Just went to something completely different. I did garage doors. I did all kinds of different things there for a short bit. And then where I'm at now, he called, says, hey, I need a tech. You want to come in? So I came in, seen his shop, loved where it was at, but I seen so much potential. I love taking shops and taking them to the next level. So I started there, and within 4 months, I was shop foreman, and we just doubled and doubled and doubled and just went to the moon with it.
That's awesome.
So I was back in that again. So that was kind of good. I had this new love for automotive again. Just got to actually fix cars and help customers and teach them how to schedule and change the way they did things. That was great. Them guys were working till 5, 6, 7, 9 o'clock at night on Fridays because they'd get everything in the week and then they try to get it all done on Friday. And it's like, no, we got to quit that. So I ended up getting that shop up in the 120% efficiency range again. Everybody was happy. It was great. And then I got COVID. Oof. That was brutal. COVID took a lot out of me. I had some serious memory loss that, man, I couldn't remember song titles, lyrics, nothing. Like, I forgot how to use a lab scope. Like, I just felt stupid for a long time. I'm still struggling with it a little bit, but I'm trying to get back in and learn, but it feels like I'm got a slight learning disability now. So it's a little harder to get back in the game where, for me to pick up lab scope, oh man, I love doing ignition patterns. Now I'm kind of struggling with it.
Wow.
So
took a huge step back, huh?
Yeah, it did feel like a little, I lost a good bit of me when that happened.
Wow.
Other than the taste of the smell.
Yeah. I want to go back to like getting into like the fixing of the shop. Kind of take me through that process when you get in there. What's kind of your first, what do you look at first? Like how did you manage that shop to get it to that point of where you have it now? Like how do you look at that? Because that's the big one. You get into a shop, you buy one, maybe you're taking one over, or maybe you're just looking at your own and like, where do I start? And once you start, it gets easy after that. But it's like, what's your first step when you you started with your friend's shop there and you wanted to start turning the tables for him? You start looking at the text first. You start looking at the scheduling first. Like how does that work for you anyway?
Mine was when I come in, I look for efficiency things you can do to make it more efficient. What can we do that takes less steps? I like what I call penny parts. They were calling for a cotter pin. They were calling for a drain plug, like little bitty penny parts that I think every shop should have on hand. Like you shouldn't have to walk all the way across the shop to get a cotter pin. So first thing I do is things to make the techs a little bit more efficient. I make everybody a fluids bucket. It's got your anti-seize, your Loctite, your brake lubes. Everybody has all the lubes and everything they need in a box on their cart or in their toolbox. I'm a big cart guy. So you can just wheel it around, walking back and forth to your toolbox every time. It's just not efficient. So I worked on that part of efficiency, making the guys, that helped out a lot. I like setting shelves up above every tech's bay. So it has their oil drain, their antifreeze container, their washer solvent, rags, all the lubricants. Instead of having everything in one central location, everybody has it right there. So at the end of the day, one guy can go around with a cart, load it up, stock all the shelves. Nobody has to walk away from their bay to do anything. Now, it wasn't my idea, but the owner ended up putting two screens and a computer in everybody's toolbox. So you had 2 screens, you look up your own parts. That was something else we implemented. The techs look up their own parts and build their own estimates. So that way, we had a lot of problems with the wrong parts. It was 145-inch wheelbase instead of 157-inch wheelbase. It was 12-inch rotors instead of 11-inch rotors. When the techs start doing that, they don't make that mistake. They see that there's 2 options and they go find out what it is, or they pull it back in. So they did their own estimates. They were 100% right. And when the tech takes that up, all the service writer's got to do is real quick, fast, look at it, make sure the prices are right. They set the prices, call the customer. Within 5 minutes, you're getting an approval before the tech even has it out of his bay. So you can start ripping stuff apart, or you're moving on. And then the other thing was getting the guys to pull it in, do all the inspections first thing in the morning, check them out, and get them out. Don't wait on the guys up front. It's going to take you 2 minutes to set it back down, drive it out, and grab the next one. If it takes that guy 5 minutes, you just lost 3 minutes. So why lose 3 minutes? Because you're going to do that 5 times a day. So one of their other things was they just, yes, for everything. Bring the car in, bring the car in, bring the car in. So you would spend 4 days inspecting all these cars, and then you had guys would be at 10, 12 hours on Thursday, and then they would try to do 25, 30 hours on Friday to make up, and they got all these cars promised, but they didn't slow down and schedule the cars, so everything piled up, and it got really hectic. There was no schedule. They didn't schedule it. They just, everything came in, and it was like a big pile, and just go. And it's sometimes you got to slow down to make it fast. Sometimes
I like starting with the tech efficiency and then the schedule. I feel like that'd fix 90% of the shops out there. They just learn to just be religious about the schedule, be okay with having one slow day because you scheduled a little light, but it increases your efficiency, right? I mean, you can't have your technicians thinking about 5 other cars, while they're working on one. They're just nobody likes that. I don't like that. Nobody likes that, except if you're the shop owner looking at your shop from your phone, and you're like, oh, we're so busy. Look at all the cars in the lot. That's not good.
Yeah,
that's not what you want to see.
Spaces let's get them out of here. Let's get them in, get them out. And that was the other thing. When they're done, call. When you get an estimate, you call. My thing is, I want to see 5 minutes from the time the tech hands that up. I want them call. Try to get that sold. When the car gets done, call immediately. Get it out of here. Don't let these cars sit here and wait till the end of the day and then try to call 15 people all at once. Then you get this big, huge pile of people all at once. And then ask people to drop them off. Quit telling them, oh, yeah, I got an appointment at 8. I got something at 9. I got something at 10. Hey, I can look at it today or tomorrow if you drop it off. Most people are glad. We got a drop box. Drop it off anytime you want. You can do it at midnight if you want. Most people try to, drop it off at 8, drop it off at 9. No, drop it off at 1:30 in the morning. I don't care. It's here. My guy's going to start on it. I don't have to wait, And the other thing is they wouldn't have anything ready for the guys. It'd be 8:30, 9 o'clock before the guys would get their tickets because you got 15, 20 people up front, and they're trying to check them in and everything, and nothing's ready. It's just chaotic. So it was, let's make all the tickets up the night before, have everything ready, and then have the key tags to where when the customer comes in, all you got to do is take your tag and tile, put your key tag on it, boom, tech's gone. He's you don't have to do anything. Don't
Right.
wait and greet all 15 before you get something to do. Like, just grab the one, walk out, grab the key tag, boom, tech knows it's here, go.
And that's huge too, because that allows the service advisors to spend time with the client versus
Yep.
trying to rush them to get to the next one so they can get the tech busy, right?
Yep.
You got someone sitting there like, hey, can you just like, I just need your key so I can get this guy going. Like, no, like you said, get it ready the night before. You know what's coming in, what should be coming in. And it goes to like the
Yep.
follow-up text, like you said, we'll follow up the day before. Hey, are you coming in tomorrow? I sure am. All right. Everything's done.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's like when they get there in the morning, here's what you're working on. Where's the car? It'll be here any minute. And as soon as
Yep.
it is, I'll hand you the keys and you're off and running, It's just
8:30 in the morning. Like, you need to be calling these people that ain't here yet. Are you
Yep.
coming? Are you not coming? Let's get the no-shows figured out right off the gate. Because most people won't call till 4:00. Oh man, I got to reschedule. I got busy today. And you already forgot about it. Now you're pissed off at them, so they can sense that. So call them in the morning. Get them at 8:30 in the morning. Like, get the guys going.
Yeah.
And for any shop owner, if you walk out in your shop and it's 8:15 and your guys ain't working, you got some processes you need to work on.
Absolutely. Yeah. And whether it's getting more vehicles in or just dispatching them properly. I like what you said with the tech efficiency about having the buckets you give them and the baskets, because we have meetings and maybe a lot of other people do that. Hey, what can we do to improve efficiency? And they all look at you like with, stars in their eyes, like, I don't know, everything's great. So it's really tough to even ask them or know. And I mean, that's a good insight because it's something simple and it's all about those simple things. Like, what do they spend time looking for? Well, once they're done looking for it, they're not thinking about it again. So you ask them at the end of the week, hey, anything we can move around or change to make you a little more efficient? They're like, no, week went fine. Like, little they know they spend an hour every day searching for a can of brake cleaner, disc brake lube, or whatever, the small $5 thing that just cost the shop $80 that week,
Oh, yeah. One of the things that they did that they didn't have any buckets or drain pans. Like, literally, brake flush was open the bleeders, pump it up, throw it on the ground, throw some floor dry down. I mean, we would go through pallets of floor dry a month.
Wow.
Like $1,700 worth of floor dry over this stuff. I'm like, you realize a $4 pan, and these guys are doing this. The floor's cleaner. All of a sudden, the shop's cleaner. Like, these guys are a lot more efficient. Like, hey, this is nice. I don't have to drag brake fluid all the way through the shop. Like, they take a water pump loose and they smack it with a hammer. There goes 3 gallons on the floor. Just throw some floor dry down. Like, no, let's catch this stuff. Come on, guys. Like, brake clean. Like, it was brutal for a while. It's just getting the right.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm definitely getting the visual. Like that sounds that kitty litter stuff. I hate it. We had a shop a long time ago that I was at, and it was just like that. It was like everywhere. It's like you open one bag of that, and it's there for the rest of the year. Because you'll pull crumbs of it from your socks and from the around the floor jacks and the lifts, and it's like, how does this? It's everywhere.
Yeah, and then as soon as the air compressor kicks on, it shakes the walls a little bit. It looks like it's snowing. Like, come on, guys. It's just little things like that. Like, finding the shop in the shop. I like to take a start to finish on a job. Like, from the time the service writer gets it, where does he go? Where the tech has to walk up to get the keys, out to the car, test drive, pull it in his bay. If he's doing an oil change, does he got to walk over here and here and here? And you can write some of these down and follow a path to each job and go, oh man, that is so stupid. If we move that barrel to the other side of the shop, I'm cutting 30 seconds at a timeout. And I'm taking guys that were turning 32 hours. All of a sudden, they're 50-hour guys. Like, oh, yeah, you're a rock star. No, you're just not wasting any time. So its efficiency, I think, is probably the biggest killer of anything. Everybody says, raise your rates, raise your rates. If you get your efficiency up, that's 90% of your problem. Like, It ain't always your rates. It's being the most efficient. Like,
I mean, raising your rates definitely changes your percentage of efficiency, right? So if you pay your tech a certain amount, you need to make a certain amount to have your your ratio be correct, your percentage being incorrect. So you can
Yeah.
either get more dollar per hour out of every hour he's there or she's there, or you raise your rate and then the ratio stays the same. But like you said, if you can correct a few things just by moving a barrel or moving a drum, that sounds a lot easier than trying to squeeze another, $90 or $120 out of a 5-hour job,
Yeah, I
and
wasn't
end up
working on
losing it to the guy down the street or something like that. So,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just all about efficiency. Work on efficiencies first. Standard operating procedures, man, they're just so fantastic. If everybody knows what you're supposed to do and you do the same thing every time, it's so much easier.
Yeah.
Like I had them, but I never wrote them down. So to work at a shop that we're still working on them. I'm still working on getting them wrote down. Job descriptions, big thing. Knowing what is your job? What do you expect of that guy? Like, you can't be mad at that guy because he turned you 47 hours when you think he should do 50. Like, if you expect 50, tell him you expect 50. But don't be mad at him because he's only doing 47.
Right.
He thinks it should be 40.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it too. He feels like he's excelling and you're upset, and talk about breeding a bad culture. I mean, no one's happy in that situation. Why are you so mad at me, man? I'm doing better than I should be, and it's like, well, you should be doing better than that. Like, says who?
Yeah,
You never told me that.
I remember the first time we had 132% efficient week. I mean, it was a fantastic week, and they're coming out, this number could be better, that number could be better. And I'm like, dude, we gave you everything. We left nothing on the table. Like, there's no giving anymore. So sometimes it's just, all right, they gave everything they give. Yeah, something might not be where it is. Let it slide. Just let it go. When it's good, but don't expect 150% when you're already getting 130. Right. So that can be a little tough too.
Yeah.
A little difficult.
Well, getting down to the end of this thing, what as far as now, you said you've taken the role of the manager, and obviously it's a lot less stress. Obviously it's tough to take that, stay out of the industry, right? You can't not do anything. I mean, you seem like you're pretty well.
When you love cars, it's hard to stay out of it. I
mean, what drives you the most though? What keeps pulling you back in? If there's one thing.
I like the customers, but I don't like the customer side of it. I'm a talker to them. Like, if customers pissed off, normally they're coming getting me. I can normally calm them down, get them back on my side. For me, it was efficiency. Like, I like doing an 8-hour job in 4 hours. Where it used to be, oh man, I got a tough diag, I knocked it out of the park. Anymore, I don't care. Like, if it's a really tough CAN bus, I got to give it to somebody else because he's going to do it faster. I don't need to be the hero. But you give me that 10 hours worth of brake and suspension work, and I knock it out in 2 hours, I don't know. I still get a high off that. When I pull an alignment in and I adjust camber and caster and I get it done in 7 minutes, like, oh yeah, that's my jam right there. I love that. I pull a tranny out in like 30 minutes. Like, heck yeah, I did that on my lunch.
Yeah, no problem. Huh? Yeah, we started this with you really wanting to get into the transmission field.
Yes.
We were talking about when we first started here. What draws you into that? Because I don't know. I wouldn't put that evil on anybody, but when you're talking about building transmissions, man, oh man, it's a love-hate relationship. But I don't know what draws you towards that.
It's like in the 90s, it was like voodoo. Like, the trainee guys were the guys that were 50, 60 years old, sitting behind a bench, smoking cigarettes. They just slamming out trannies. I mean, they're busting a turbo 350 out in 2.5 hours. It's like, man, that's like 8 hours. Like, that is just so awesome. They just one after another, and just watching how it worked, and the gears and the planetaries, the tolerance have to be just right. It could let my OCD just go insane with.
Yeah, that's true.
We ain't doing 37,000s, dude. That's 35. It's on the money. Like, yeah, we're miking things. something I've always wanted to do. I've built a few, done a few. I was really good at tranny diag back in the day. I mean, you give me an 1870 code on an old Silhouette van. Oh yeah, I know what PIDs I'm looking at. I could tell you where this converter, the TCC solenoid. Like, yeah, I loved that stuff. And it was just the sitting there and taking something and being able to build it and start from scratch and just put it all back together with so many moving parts.
Yeah.
Like building engines, building trannies. That's just, them guys were the king of the crop in my eyes. Like the guys that built the trannies back in the day, they were the guys that we all looked up to in the industry that just, man, it was.
It's a dying breed, to say the least. I mean, it's nowadays with everything out there, 8, 9, 10 speeds, it's almost unrebuildable to an extent.
Yeah.
I mean, you can, but I'm with you, and I took that road and took that challenge on, and I'm like, I am going to be that guy. I know exactly what you're talking about. I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to be that guy. I was a smog tech for a long time. I was like, no, but I'm going to build transmissions because that's the top. That's the hierarchy.
And then that's it, man.
And then now it's like, now it's all gone. All those 4 speeds, 3 speeds that were easy, and it's all these 8, 9, 10 speeds. Is like, man, I can't build these things and be cost. Like you said, you pull the transmission out in 30 minutes. But you don't get charged. You don't get billed for 30 minutes. You get billed for your time. But it's nowadays with these transmissions. If I looked at building it and then look at the cost of just getting it remanufactured, it's like I can get the reman for less cost, than it takes me to bill a client for. Sure, I make my time, building it, right? So there's that profit margin. But if you look at the percentages at the end of the day, it's like, wow, I'm only really like suffering like a 20% loss selling them a remanufactured, and I don't have to do anything. It's so hard to like, as a tech and as a builder, and then take it as a shop owner, like I got to do the right thing. I can't have these guys waiting on me to build this thing, and it's like only to suffer a 20% loss. You know what I mean?
That's why I got to rebuilding rear ends. It's like, man, it's just so, I buy one, it's there, 3 hours, it's in, it's done, versus me. I'm, meticulous. I'm spending 6-8 hours on one.
Yeah.
And all the parts and little things that go into it. And
running your paint mark 4 or 5 times is like, oh man, that took all day.
And then you're buying bearings just to make setup bearings, and you're going through a bunch of different stuff, and then you get it done, you find out your brand new gear set makes noise. It's like, oh, so aggravating.
Yeah.
Like, tranny guys, like when you're in building the tranny, it's a 20% loss, but then I look at, okay, but I got that 9 hours back. That guy can do 2 of them, so it's no longer a 20% loss because I can do twice as many.
Oh, correct. Absolutely.
Yeah. We don't go in them anymore. I mean, I do a bunch of the Chrysler valve bodies and stuff like that. But
shift kits and stuff like that. But to have 3 techs out on the floor and they're all waiting on me to build them all a unit when they could all have one, being installing it. Yeah, it's like it's nothing but, what am I doing back here? Wasting my time when I could just have upsold a reman and had them putting it back in. It don't make no damn sense at all. What am I doing? Yeah. And it's all pride, like, no, I can get it done. And then 1 out of the 3 ends up with a leak or a problem. And it's like, great, pull it back out. And then you got to pay your tech to pull it back out for something you screwed up on. It's like, yeah, if I could find a builder, I would love to. Then you can have 2 builders, but it's like, there's nobody building anymore. And it's just because just the same thought we just had right now is like, well, there's no money in it. Unless you're a huge shop and you're building units takeaway and you're building them for us to buy to install, then it doesn't make any damn sense. It's a dying breed.
$3,000 for parts to do one of the new 8 speeds. Like, wow. Like, come on. And you're making what, $800 on it? Like, it's a lot of liability to have a drum ticket crap. And then,
or one part be wrong because the parts guys don't know anything about these units either. It's not like you got the good old boy, you call the parts store on a Turbo 350 and it's like, hey man, I'm going to need a rebuild on this. Okay, gotcha. And it's like, they don't just send you the friction module. They send you the bushings you need and the thrust washers. And it's like, they know what you're going to need to rebuild it. Nowadays, hey, can I get a rebuild kit? Do you want the California kit or do you want the banner kit or do you want I don't know. Do you have like a standard thing that you can send me that replaces everything? A what?
I get the everything kit?
The everything. I used to have guys like that. I'd call and they're like, oh, hey, do you want the the TCC valve to do the repair for the 1870 code on the, on a 4L60. It's like, oh yeah, I do need that. Thanks for letting me know. I totally forgot about that. I have 1,000 other things I'm thinking about. Thanks for being a salesperson, like, cause then you get it and it's like, oh, I forgot to order that stupid reaming kit, and then you got to wait another day. And it's like, and that's happening now. It's like you order the stuff for an 8 or 9 speed and it's like, hey, this didn't come with a filter. Your rebuild kits don't come with a freaking filter. Like, nope. Like, okay, can you send me a filter? Because I'm going to need that, and it's a 10 speed, so you can't just buy one locally. It's like, you know what?
Yeah, I learned a long time ago that pride, you just got to pride or money. Which one do you want?
Yeah.
Like the thrill of fixing the unfixable is nice, but for me,
comes with a cost.
Money in my wallet. My wife would rather go out to eat. My kids would rather have nice bicycles. So sometimes it's giving up the pride to get the dollar.
Yeah, let that one problem child go, and the vehicle that's just kicking your butt. It's like, you know what? I gotta let this thing go.
Yeah, that was another thing that was a big difference too. Was after a while, I just told them, like, look, some of these cars need to go through me before. Like, we don't do anything 2000 and down. We're in the Rust Belt. Everything's crap here. I mean, we got 2012s that we send to the junkyard. They're so rusted out.
Wow.
So for us, it's like anything 2000 and older, I got to let them know, like, you need to talk to me first because we're probably not going to want to work on this. And I don't have a problem kicking a car down the road if it's not going to be a good job.
Right.
I mean, I'm sorry, I've been to 7 shops. Nobody can figure this out. Yeah, I'm not that guy.
Yeah, we're going to be number 8. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like let's just be honest. You just need to take it straight to the dealer and drop it off and have them call you in 3 months. Like,
yeah, unfortunately, yeah. I mean, if you want to run a successful or profitable at least business, because you get the problem childs and they somehow they're magnetized to each other. So you get the one, you get 3 more right after it.
Like, we're slow. I let one Volvo in the door. Next thing you know, there's 47 in the parking lot. You're going, what the heck? We just worked on this guy. Just worked on this guy. It's like, no, we're done. No,
they're repopulating out there. What's going on here?
Oh, yeah. And I keep telling the guys, like, one of the best things you could do to get a certain car in there, like, I love Subarus. So for me, when we get a Subaru, it's parked in the corner out by the road. Like, I want Subaru owners to see that, and 5 or 6 is going to pop in the next 2 days. Like, they see a Subaru there, Subaru owners are just, oh yeah, hey, I found my shop. And you just, boom, go for it.
The little things, man. Those are the little things that just maybe a lot do think of it, but I think a lot miss.
Yeah.
It's the easy stuff like that.
Work on out by the road. Advertise them dudes. Let everybody see that you want to work on this. And everybody's like, they show pictures of their shops and they got a Corvette or a hot rod. They don't even work on them. Like, no, we have an Odyssey and an Outback. That's the pictures of the stuff you want, and advertise to your customers.
I'm pretty guilty of that. We get some classic cars in here. We have a classic car division, and I like putting them out front and taking a picture of the shop. And I'm pretty guilty of that because it's like I don't really want a whole shop full of classic cars. Right, but it makes a good picture, So I'm guilty of that for sure.
I might park it out by the sign, underneath the sign with the top down. Got the wheels turned a certain way. Buddy's got his 44. We park them to get people's attention because right beside that is an Odyssey.
Yeah, there you go.
Like, come on, Mom. Yeah, this is cool. Your kids are all yelling, hey, Mom. Yeah, pull
like, that's a cool. Yeah, but we don't work on those, just so you know. That was just to get you here. That was clickbait, I think they call it.
Yeah, that's my clickbait. Like, it works. I seen your website. I'm looking at all these cars going, oh, my God, I'm in love, but I don't want to do that every day.
Yeah, it's a love-hate relationship. Sometimes we do pretty well with them, and sometimes they kick your butt a little bit. But, I mean, you can get a 2022 and 2021 and it kicks your butt too. So I kind of look at it that way too. I get plenty of new vehicles that are just as big of a pain to get parts for and to figure out versus a 1960. It's hard to get parts for. It's not so hard to figure out. There's not a whole lot to go wrong with it, but you get my point. I mean, it's like the same but different. It's like parts are just as hard to get with these newer cars now,
Yep.
I can't get a warranty on them from the dealer, and the aftermarkets don't have the parts yet. So it's the same as the classics. Well, I can't get a warranty on the parts, but I can get them from Summit Racing, the next day.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And then usually the clients, the owners of the cars are a little more forgiving, and they're just willing to spend money. They don't need this car. They want it,
Yeah.
and they want it to be nice, and they want these disc brakes, and they want all this extra stuff. So it's like, yeah, it's tough to say no to it because it's for the most part pretty easy money, and it's cool, and I like it.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah.
That's my problem. That's my passion. I got a 56 Pontiac Star Chief. I'm doing an LS1 swap in for a friend, and
Nice.
within that, I have like 5 of them lined up. It's like, oh my God, for the next 2 years, I'm going to be doing LS swaps on all these weird vintage cars. But it's my love and my passion. But it's what I do at the house. It's what I bought this shop for. It's the fun thing.
It's nice when they're done.
Yeah.
When you get that swap done. that's when it's
get
nice.
it all done.
When you first start it, and then when it's done. But in the middle there, it's like, oh, why am I doing this?
Yeah, and it seems like I get all the odd ones. Like, nobody's ever done a swap in a Pontiac like this. So there's no kits. So everything's custom. And it snowballed into like, I just want to make it a nice driver to, oh, crap, now we're going to put 30 grand in this thing. It's going to be a show car. It's like, oh. So
yeah, that's the biggest problem I think with the classics is the ends. Hey, since you're doing that, let's also do that. No. You came in for the disc brake conversion, and we're going to do that, and then you're going to leave, and then we're going to reschedule you for this other fancy stuff you want to do. We're not doing it all at the same time. I just got roped into one doing that same thing as the LS swap and a 65 Pontiac, and it was the same. It's just kind of like, hey, let's throw some carpet kit in it. Hey, I want to do a floor shifter. Hey, let's do rims and tires. Hey, let's do it. It's like, oh, how did this happen? I'm not restoring your car, but I am. How did this happen?
It's funny you should say that because I got a 64 Tempest that was supposed to be just a disc brake conversion, and we ended up recovering the seats and putting carpet in. It was a bunch of wiring, and he's like, oh, what about swapping this? And I convinced him, like, no, let's leave the original engine, original power glide. I'll make it run good. And he got to drive it, and I convinced him to just leave it stock 6-cylinder so you can cruise it.
Right.
So, but yeah, it snowballed into this big, huge project. It ended up in my shop for like a month and a half. It's like, oh, I just wanted to go home.
Yeah.
I want my shop back.
Yeah,
I have cars like
these custom fab guys that have cars for a year on end, and it's like, I just can't. How do you get there and just stare at the same damn car for a year? I don't know, man. I just can't do it. Like 6 months go by, it's like, this thing's got to go. Like, this thing's got to get out of here. Whatever it takes for it to just, so I don't have to look at it every day I get here. I can't do it anymore. Yeah. You're OCD that way.
Yeah. That's the fun stuff though. That's kind of what gets me going. But I know doing that for a business it's hard. Guys that want to work on old stuff during regular business hours. Sorry. Instead of that disc brake conversion, I can do 2 regular brake jobs, be done in 2 hours, make just as much money.
Yeah, that's
versus
true.
The 8-10 hours of running brake lines and modifying pedals and doing all this other stuff. Like, take the stuff that makes you money, find your specialty, and run with it.
Or just course correct. I mean, I've made my mistakes when it came to some of those too, and it's like, our hourly rate's higher for classics. That's just, it is what it is. It's like $50 an hour more. That's just, and then whatever we think it's going to be, we just, double that. And it's like you said, it's like, well, and you got to look at it like, well, if you're going to do that work because you like those cars like I do, and you want to keep doing it and make it part of the shop, like you said, what can you do in that time frame? So if you're running a 90 or 100% efficient shop, then you need to be able to say, okay, well, if I'm going to be working on this car for all day for 8 hours, what's my potential loss if I just lined up brake jobs? So that's how I've looked at it, and that's how we quote them out. And it works out. I mean, sometimes, like I said, you don't always win, but you don't always win with a brake job either. You always have that one that comes back with a squeak or they overheat the rotors, and it's like, we'll take care of it for you. We understand you were driving with 2 feet for the last 200 miles, but that's all right. We'll just warranty your rotor anyway. So it's okay.
Win some, you lose some, but it's an easier one to lose there.
Yeah, it's true. Well, this has been good, man. I'm glad you came on. It's good to meet you.
This is fun. Yeah, I was supposed to do another podcast for another guy, and I didn't know if my setup was going to work. So I bought these expensive headphones and mics and all this other stuff. The mic just sounded reverberating. It sounded really weird. So,
No, this is
you
the
know,
quality sounds good. I can hear you good. And yeah,
okay.
I think it's worked out good for you. You doing any
Yeah.
training events this year?
I was trying to go to ASTE, but with the shop I'm at, we started another shop in last year, about October. So they moved me in January this year. So it's just getting, a shop from nothing built up to really good numbers.
Nice.
So I've been a little busy.
Yeah, I can see that.
And during COVID, my special needs daughter she was going to Riley's Children's Hospital, and they kind of forgot about her for a while. So we're just now back into all the therapies and stuff. So it's got me moving 24/7. I mean, there's 7-8 doctors a week now. So I'm going to miss ASTE. Apex is just too much at this point. But I want to try to do vision next year. I love training. John Thornton, Bill Fulton, all them guys. I've like 170 different classes. I love training. So hopefully I'm going to hit up Apex, ASD, and Vision next year.
Cool. Yeah, I'll be at Apex here at the end of the month. So I don't know if I'd run into you or not, but we'll just have to catch up next year. Oh, I'm going to try to do Vision next year. I don't know if I'll make it, but
yeah, Vision was my first big show like that. I'd never done anything like that. I read about it in Ratchet and Wrench, but you don't really know what it is from that advertising till you go. It is life-changing.
It's rad.
Life-changing.
I'm excited to check that out.
These things are just, it reinvigorated me. Like, that's all I do all day. I put in one earbud, 8 hours of podcast all day. I mean, it's all I do. I am training 24/7, it seems like.
Yeah, so you have to.
It's made
stay on top of the game. You have to.
Oh man, I feel so dumb sometimes because I listen to guys like Fanslow and Mario and all these guys. It's like, dude, I am so dumb. But they're the cream of the crop. These guys that teach us stuff and talk about it, they're on another level. It's just so much better than I would ever expect to be.
Well, and in this industry, it goes so many different directions that you can't know everything, but you get specialized in one area. And you might be smarter there, but did you know this? And it's like, we all learn so much off of each other that's where the camaraderie is so important. And to be like, hey, did you ever hear this? And then you learn stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it for the networking point. Just meeting all these guys that I hear and listen to, and it's like, okay, now I can finally put a face, to the voice. That's kind of cool. So I met Hawk and Light. I don't know why I was like fangirling so big when I got to meet him at Vision. Like, that dude is just so smart. Like, I don't see electricity like these guys do. I have to think about it.
Right. Yeah. I don't think anybody does. They're definitely on their own level there. Yeah, for sure.
I can fix it. It's going to take a while. These guys, they see it and they just can picture this stuff. I'm like out with my little magic marker, like following lines, and I got to think about all this stuff and redraw it. And so it's nice knowing there's guys out there that's helping the industry, which 20 years ago there wasn't nothing. Everybody was a competitor. You didn't do anything to help the guy down the street. Now, the way these podcasts are and like what you're doing is so nice just to be able to listen and go, hey, I've been where that guy's been. And look at him now. Like, look how far he's come. It's just a huge, huge kick in the butt for guys to go, all right, cool, I can do this. I've been there. I've been down. This sucks. Like, I've been on the bottom. I've been on the top. I did the magic $1 million number everybody wants to go. In a little 3-bay. But I've also been at the bottom where, I didn't take a paycheck for a month or two. So it's nice that guys like you are letting other people tell their story and give hope to the little guy.
I think that's the most important thing. I mean, it's for me anyway, because I'm the same way as you. I just listen to podcasts and you feel like you're on your own island and you feel like no one else is going
Yep.
through what you're going through. And then once you realize everybody is, all I want to do is feed that information back to the ones that are starting out, make them, because the sooner you realize there's guys going through the same or girls going through the same stuff that you're going through, it's the quicker you get your feet back underneath you. You know what I mean?
Yep. I love going online and just going on all these things. And guys got a question, boom, here, do this, here, do this. I love helping people. I love changing the industry. Like I help everybody. Like I don't have a competitor in my mind. I don't think anybody should be a competitor. Right. You run it your way, I run it my way. Hey, it's all good at the end. You need
at the end of the day, our job is to keep these cars on the road.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep. Not everybody's your customer, but your customer, treat them right.
Yep.
Treat them right.
Well, this has been good, man. I appreciate you coming on.
Hey, thanks. I absolutely love this. I was like so nervous, like fangirling and stuff here for a while. Like, oh.
Well, hopefully we can catch up soon, and I look forward to hearing you on the Jaded Mechanic. Right? We'll see you on Jeffries.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
He got. We had something somewhat set up, and then he just blew up. And look, I'm a small fry. I wouldn't expect him to get to me for a long time now. That you and him have voices that they're like soothing and calming, and just like
Jeff's very good. He is very, very. I talked to him at ASTE, and I told him like, man, you really have like a vibe about you. It's like we talked for like almost 2 hours. I was like, it's been 2 hours. Holy moly, you got a vibe about you, man. That Canadianness.
I remember posting a few things, like people would ask questions. I'm like, what's this in your shop? And I'd put it on there. And dude, he would rip into me like it's no tomorrow. I was like, dude, it's not my shop. Like, I'm just telling guys what they want to hear. Like he doesn't care. He'll let you have it. And I love that. Him and Dutch, like, dude, just get straight to it. I'm a straight shooter. Like if something sucks, say it. If something stupid, say it. But he does that and then gives you a way to fix something. So it's really cool. Just something about the guy, man. I feel like we could be best friends. Like,
I think it's because he's Canadian.
Yeah,
they're very polite people.
He's so blunt and so straightforward in your face, but he's so polite about it.
Yeah.
Politely tell you, like, that's stupid. Don't do that.
And then let's have a beer.
Yeah, have a beer. Like.
Well, cool, man. Well, have a good night, and look forward to seeing you soon.
All right, cool. We'll see you. Hey, if I'm ever out that way, I'll definitely stop by and say hi.
Look me up, man.
Heck yeah.
Thanks.
Cool. Thanks, buddy.
Good night.
See ya.